this is what has happened here. This is the reality of where you live. This is how certain people feel, you know. And my kids, man, they have many cultures of people that they not only hang out with, they know, they've been around the world, they've seen people, they've heard other people speak other dialects. So they're respectful of themselves and respectful of others.
I was gonna say that because I mean, me growing up in Queens, I'm sure you growing up in the South, it was nothing but black kids in our class.
Yeah.
But for my kids, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So telling them about racism, they looking at it kind of different. Like, nah,
my daughter's the only black girl in her school.
Class. Yeah, like Mikey is my friend.
In the whole school?
This
in the
person,
whole
so
school.
It's a little different to relate. Even if they go to your shows are so diverse.
Yeah.
So talking to them, do they really get it?
I mean, they're young boys, and they're growing to be conscious young men. You know what I'm saying? I'm not certain, you know, and what I can say is while I have them in my care, I'm preparing them to be mindful men of the world that they live in and the reality of what their life looks like, to make sure that they understand their history, make sure that they understand what's not written in textbooks, make sure that they understand who they are, where they come from, what responsibility comes with what they have. And it may not necessarily be theirs. They may be judged. It may hurt. You know, they may be put off. Somebody may say something, I might call them and they white. They're like, where did that come from?
Right.
But what if he say, what's up, my?
Yeah, but that's where we headed.
Yeah.
So we headed towards an integrated time, man, where it's like everything goes. You know what I'm saying? We're in a really, really odd balance right now. So I just try my hardest to just be there for them while I know I can. And as they get older, you know, they're going to have to go out in the world, and then hopefully everything that I taught them keeps them alive. You know what I mean? I love them while I got them, as long as I have them. And I protect them as much as I can.
Absolutely.
Now, I always wanted to ask you, when you did Same Girl with R. Kelly, were you concerned that people may think that? Were you concerned people may... just go somewhere else.
Damn.
Just go somewhere else real quick.
We getting too deep.
Good segue.
What a segue. I mean, like,
when you did that song, were you concerned that people may think that Same Girl was 13?
Oh, man.
Stupid.
good question.
Is it?
Get out of there, man.
Are you still boxing after? Look, I switched it back up again because I read that you had a full boxing gym in your house.
I did when I was preparing.
When you were doing so,
when I was preparing for Hands of Stone.
now?
Yeah. I don't box as much as I used to. You know what I'm saying? Because I started having like issues with my back. Because you know, boxer's posture is like humped over. You know what I mean? It's all about protection. But nah, I don't have a boxing gym in my house anymore. I just go to the gym.
You a $140? You lost that much weight?
Nah, not now.
They said
I was gonna say that's crazy. You didn't know
147. I said, that's
Yeah, that was his welterweight.
Okay.
Weigh in. You know what I'm saying? And I got down to 150.
That's still light as
Yeah, I was super light. You seen the movie?
I haven't seen the movie yet.
Okay, so you go see the movie, you'll understand what it is, what it look like. How y'all ain't seen my movie, man?
It's out?
Yeah, it's out.
I didn't know it came out. I thought it was coming out like this weekend when the album came out.
I think it came out a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now, can we talk about how you ruined Chili?
Ruined?
What?
Because remember when she did the TV show?
How the
had
hell
that
I
long
ruined? How I
checklist?
ruin a grown ass person?
And she had that long checklist. I said, this is Usher's fault.
Oh,
I said, this is all Usher's fault that she got this long checklist.
she happy now though.
Yeah.
So you're saying she is dating Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon, yeah.
I don't know that she is.
Nick Cannon said in a freestyle that he first tried to holler when Usher was with Chili.
Oh well, that was then.
Yeah.
Came back full circle.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, you know, nah. You think I ruined Chili for real?
Did you see her checklist on what Chili wants?
The new man she wants to date. Yeah, that checklist was
Chili
crazy.
checklist was long.
But they dated a long time ago. I'm sure there's been other things definitely that's happened since, so it didn't have to be Usher
And when the last time you interviewed her?
that ruined her.
Maybe
About a year and a half
two and a half
ago,
years
2
ago, maybe.
Yeah. Did you ask her about it?
Yeah.
She said you ruined her.
She said I
No,
ruined
I'm
her.
kidding.
She didn't say that. She didn't say that.
I think she just said something like you had some growing up to do or something like that.
Well, that's part of the reason that I wrote the song Rivals. Right. You know what I'm saying? Cause I did have some growing up to do. You know, that relationship served. You know, you kind of had these categories. You know what I'm saying? You got a reason, season, or a lifetime. That one didn't prove to be a lifetime.
You got an album out of it though, 10 million records sold. Mary J. Usher.
Mary J. Usher. This guy's an idiot.
Now the album cover, it got a statue of Rodin. What does that symbolize?
eroding.
Eroding? Did I use that word right?
Yeah.
You said
You
eroded.
used it right.
I like
but
a
you
rodent.
said-
Oh, no,
you said like
eroding.
Eroding.
All right, man, I'm from South Carolina, man. You know what I meant.
All right, so check it out. So there's an artist by the name of Daniel Arsham, and if you go to my Instagram, I talk about it a little bit. But it's a piece of art that he worked on, and at the time, the creative stuff that I was playing with was a name by the name an album by the name of Flawed. So he kind of does these relics, you know what I'm saying? It's almost as though we're like archaeologists looking at this piece from like years ago. You know, he like takes these things like a basketball, a football, a computer, something that becomes obsolete, something that was so valuable at one time, and then now it kind of is stuck in this place, you know. And you know, the statue to me was just kind of like just an artistic way of, you know, telling that story of Flawed and also Too Hard to Love.
You don't feel that way, do you? You don't feel like you've been valuable over time, but now you stuck in a place. You feel that way?
I mean, you know, you're celebrated when they make a statue of you.
Gotcha. I get it.
So your advice to men, other men out here, would
But when
be-
you look at it, right, it's eroded. So there's a lot of things that have happened in that process, right?
Right.
So that kind of represents the hard to love, the flaws, the things. You know what I'm saying? You either take those flaws on and you move on to be a great person, or they become something that, you know, just erodes you.
Word up.
Yeah.
got it.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, so your advice to men would be
Artsy. You know.
that when you make your mistakes,
Yeah.
own up to them,
Yeah.
take responsibility,
Yeah.
and learn from them.
Yes.
So
How about just not get caught?
no, that's terrible. How about just don't do it, Charlamagne, instead of just don't get
I mean,
caught?
if you want to deal with fantasy, cool.
But it took him time to get to that point, I'm sure.
Right.
To be honest,
Somebody
sure.
told me.
I think all men have their own, you know, timing, you know what I mean, and have their own things that we have to deal with, and women will never understand it.
Mhm.
You know, you don't have a penis, so you
That
don't
is true.
understand it. It's,
but we
you
don't
just-
know that. We don't know that about you
You,
yet.
and you guys don't. When we might not necessarily understand everything
My
about
vagina,
you,
right.
so we're trying to figure out this connection between
Angela,
between man and woman.
you got to Snapchat naked from the steam room, so we make sure you don't got no.
Shut up.
I'm gonna put an emoji.
Shut up.
And plus, you can always tuck it.
Tuck
You
it.
can always tuck it.
Nah, but I mean, it's something about that insecurity that men have that you know at times makes it a bit
Now,
like
somebody
we
once-
make bad decisions at times. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
you guys do.
So you have to
Somebody
begin
once
to
told
balance
me
it.
that if you cheat and you don't get caught, that you shouldn't tell.
You damn right.
But some people feel like, man, I feel so guilty about this. I feel like I need to go to my significant other and be like, I made a huge mistake. This is what happened. So what's your advice on if you cheat and don't get caught, should you confess or should you just erase it?
You speaking to the guy who puts it in his music.
Right.
I'm like a tattletale. I tell on myself. I mean,
No,
Well,
you confess because
if
you
there's
got
a
caught.
baby involved or something, yeah. But
I mean, you can't really get around that. Eventually, she's gonna see the baby. You know what I'm saying?
But people have said it. But people have said it's very selfish if you
No.
don't get caught to tell because it relieves your guilt, but then it makes the other person feel terrible.
I disagree. I think that if you're trying to move forward in a relationship, let it come from your mouth to the person that you want to figure this out, because there's a reason why you went through that. There's a reason why you had that moment. Why she or you, it ain't just guys either, by the way. Women on that too. You know
Yes,
what I'm
they
saying?
are.
Now, more now than ever. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
knew that was going to come up. Could you be with the woman who cheated on you? If Grace was like, look, I made a huge mistake. It was just one time.
cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah, don't put that in
And
there.
Usher, you
I'm
got
just
I
saying.
don't put that out there like
Don't put
that.
that out
Usher,
there.
you got money to hide a baby. You got money to hide a whole family. I don't want you. Don't sit here and hand me that.
Nah, but
We can't get around that.
I mean, and there you have it. You know what I'm saying? So not owning it lives in denial and it erodes you. You know what I'm saying? So
There
you
you
have to get it out of your body, put it out, talk about it. You know, and at that point, you got to be willing to deal with the fact that she's either going to stay with you or she's going to leave. But living a lie is going to erode you and her, especially if you're not able to just kind of be. And by the way, when you done with it, you're able to let it go and just say it. Like, yo, this happened. I was tripping. I really wasn't. I mean, it's this mature relationship conversation though. Like when you get to a place in a relationship, a marriage, whatever it may be, where you can be honest with your partner and really let them know, listen, this is something that happened, and I want to make it better. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get past it. You know, and if we can, then let's do it. let's repair it. Some people do therapy. Some people, go to counseling together, whatever they have to do in order to get to that better place. But there's a reason why it happened in the first place. You got to get to that first.
What's the biggest adjustment you've had to make in your 20-plus year career as an artist and man?
As an artist, biggest adjustment?
Yeah.
That comes with the territory. You always making an adjustment. You always listening to what music is. You always kind of collaborating. I think that's probably one of the hardest places for writers, producers to get when they, because something about having a hit record makes you feel like you don't need anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But collaboration is what gives you perspective. So when you begin to work with other people, then you go further. You know what I'm saying? And that probably is the hardest thing. Just when you finally get that, wait a minute, I can't do this all by myself. It's not just all me. It is collaboration. It is the people that are helping me understand and see things that maybe I didn't catch.
Do record sales even matter at this point?
Somebody
like you?
Obviously, the music industry ain't protected in that way, and music is a free good. You know what I'm saying? But there's still, sites that are attempting to hold the integrity of it, like Tidal. You should definitely
download it.
Download it. Nah, but and then that at least keeps the integrity and the connection to it, where it's not about the money. Nah, I think that right now, record sales as a whole, they don't have a major bearing over whether an artist is relevant or not. You know what I'm saying? You could love an artist and they may not sell a whole lot of records, or either they may sell a whole lot of records and be irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? So it's really more an investment of the fans, and really work on the artist's part to help to tell that story and get you prepared for that live experience. I look at these artists and I'm like, you throw some lights and that makes you an entertainer. Nah, you really got to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, you ain't gonna have the longevity.
And that's
you might have a hit record.
Longevity is your live show, because there's people you can go see perform live and you're like, I'd rather listen to the album at home. But then there's people you see perform live and it's like, wow, that was a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're gonna spend that that $40 or $59, whatever it costs to go see your favorite celebrity. You want them to show up for you.
What do you think about people live show now? Because seeing you perform, sometimes I'm like,
they don't work. They don't work as hard as they.
I'm like, man, you perform, you dance, you
Usher
sing,
always
dancing.
practicing. First time I ever seen Usher was about 2 years ago at the iHeart Festival, and he walked in the room, and it's like a path cleared, and he danced all the way to the podium. Like you walked in the room to do press and danced to go do your interview. I was like, well,
stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Nah, but I'm a bit disappointed
with live shows now.
I'm very disappointed with live shows. I'm not as disappointed for the creative directors because they getting paid a lot of money to put the lights in it. And then it's one hand has to work the other. You got to have the right records and then the right experience, and it ain't got to be a big old production and lights, to have an intimate performance. But I don't know if record companies understand how important it is to still invest in artists in that way and help them if they're gonna have a record company. And if you're gonna be an independent artist, you gotta do a residency. You know what I'm saying? Go somewhere. Be somewhere. Work on your show. Get your show together so that it's more than just that record. You know what I'm saying?
Now you discovered Justin Bieber. Is it hard for you to pick another artist now because of the success Bieber had?
Success has a million fathers. There's a ton of people who were part of Justin Bieber's discovery. I was a part of introducing it. Scooter brought it to me. There was a ton of people that advised and made sure that I made it a priority to focus on it. But yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily the business that I have been in. I've been more focused on continuing to keep music, and if I do hear anything. An artist, I'll pull them to the front. I might collaborate with them. I might help them and mentor them. I mentor more people than you would ever know. More artists. If you ask any R&B artist, if you name them right now, I probably know them, mentor them, talk to them. I'm the
Tory
youngest
Lanez.
OG that they got. You know
Tory
what I'm saying?
Lanez.
Well, no.
With Trey Songz.
With Trey,
August.
What about Bryson Tiller?
Bryson too. Yeah.
Miguel?
Definitely Miguel. Yeah.
Cause Diddy did that for you. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's about the gift of the trade. If you have some perspective, why not offer it? You know what I'm saying? Chris, all of them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
BET hip hop honest, Trey Songz sang for you.
Yep.
People were talking about that your face, that you was pissed off. Were you pissed off for any reason?
Nah.
Oh.
No.
Really?
I was happy that he was there. Yeah.
Well, the album is out right now. Hard to Love, your 8th studio album. We appreciate you joining us.
The young OG.